now we'll move on to Wendy Warren, who is talking to us while on a vacation away from her job as environmental coordinator for the city of Bangor, Maine. We are especially grateful to her for taking time out of her vacation to talk to us. She is the environmental coordinator there. She ensures that the city complies with regulations on hazardous waste, land use, and stormwater. She received her BS in Urban Planning and Environmental Management from Western Michigan University, and Wendy has over 16 years of experience in environmental compliance and pollution prevention in the private and public sectors. So Wendy, over to you.
Thank you, Matthew. Welcome to Bangor, Maine. Bangor is a somewhat small city. We have a population of about 33,000, but we are the third largest in the state of Maine. And we are a service center for healthcare and retail, servicing a population of about 150,000, but a lot more come for the healthcare and retail services because we're in about the center of the state, and so everybody north of us comes to Bangor. So my point is that we have a very small tax base of about 3,300 or 33,000 people, but we provide services to a large number of people relative to our tax base. So, of course, our resources are stretched thin. But that's no news. I guess probably all municipalities have that same problem. Let's face it, municipalities were not designed to provide education and outreach services. The minimum control measure 1 and 2 are sort of new for municipalities. We don't have any educational professional on board, and we don't have any line items in our budget for education and outreach. So in response to the MS4 requirements, the city of Bangor joined with several other small communities that are surrounding it, and we formed our own region. So we have 6 small towns, population of 2,000 to 9,000, plus Bangor, and we have 5 non-traditional MS4 permittees. And those include a military facility, a healthcare facility, and several colleges and universities. Next slide.
So before we get there, let's interrupt with a poll. Which of the following have you collaborated with on stormwater outreach? Other city departments, other cities, or nonprofit organizations? And the results are surprisingly even on that front. Lots of collaboration with city departments and some with other cities and with nonprofits. Wendy has a great variety of those nonprofits and other types collaborating with. And we'll keep going.
Yeah, I think that it's best to go with what you have available to you, and we just happen to have a wide variety available in the region, and we all sort of do things together. So it's worked out really well for us. So being regional and collaborating with the local governments and those other non-traditional MS4 permittees, it does require a lot of effort. But we have found that the benefits far outweigh our efforts. In fact, each member contributes 1 or 2 staff members to our pool of resources. And our pool of resources essentially involves people who can provide skills such as accounting, constructing things, database development, GIS, grant writing, planning, marketing, and all those things that are needed in order to put together these education and outreach programs. So one member may be weak in one or several areas, but being part of a larger group makes up for those weaknesses. Next slide. There are lots of benefits for collaborating and being a regional group. And one of those is that I think that we get more recognition by the federal and the state government. In 2006, we actually received an award for our Think Blue Maine campaign. That's a statewide campaign. And around that same time, the other MS4 permittees in the state were also gathering together into regions. And the regional groups, we call them clusters. And all together, all 4 regional groups joined together to form the Think Blue Maine Coalition. We borrowed this from the San Diego with permission, the Think Blue Maine idea. Actually, it was Think Blue San Diego. So we get a lot of recognition by the state government because the state stormwater coordinator actually works with us and seeks our input. When they're putting together new regulations or rules, they actually invite us in to discuss the policies and the permit language and so forth and what we can live with and what will break the bank. So we're actually a resource for the State Department of Environmental Protection, as well as they're a resource for us. So we receive mutual benefits.
And
next slide.
With that, we'll take one other poll. My state DEP has responded best to my utilities concern when we've approached them A, individually, B, in a small group, or C, in a large group. And the quicker you can put your answer down, the better these things will work. All right. We have a slight plurality for a large group, second place individually. Yep. Wendy, you can comment or keep going as you...
Ready? Okay.
Yep.
So being part of a larger group also increases our visibility by the public. That's another benefit for us. We all have our annual street and stream cleanup at the same time, all of our members in the region. And that helps us get more recognized by the individuals and organizations throughout the region, and they join in the street and stream cleanups. Each town does theirs at the same time and on the same weekend each year. And so it really raises awareness in the whole region about what we do. Our collaboration also validates our mission, which sort of sounds like the tail wagging the dog. But really, what it means is that being part of a regional group and each one of us really understanding the importance of meeting the MS4 requirements, we communicate that upwards to our own town councils and administrations. And therefore, they recognize the regional group as being a very important entity. And they also recognize the MS4 goals as much more important than they might otherwise. And so therefore, each year when we have to go to our town councils or our administration to ask for annual funding for dues to be part of the organization, we get very little resistance. Next is that also we have better communication, and that's another benefit of being a regional organization. It's very important that we understand exactly what DEP wants from us, and therefore what EPA wants from us. And so DEP actually attends our monthly meetings, and they provide us with guidance on what exactly is meant by this language or what's meant by that or how much is enough. Some of those gray areas that Marlou mentioned earlier are a lot easier to define when you have DEP sitting in the room nodding their head, yes, that will go, and no, that won't work. And also, we're not receiving information by word of mouth, which makes things all much clearer. Also, by being a regional group, we increase communications. We have better communications amongst our own public works employees. And we're all able to send the same consistent message to our employees within our municipal governments. They're all getting the same training, the same standard operating procedures, the same best management practices. And we also send the same message to our contractors and our vendors, specifically with regard to our illicit discharge ordinance. We're going to be sending out a letter on a regional basis to these vendors who might have the opportunity to dump into the catch basins And we have to tell them that, no, that's not acceptable any longer. But instead of just the city of Bangor telling the vendors there so that they can just go to the next town over, we're going to be doing it on a regional basis. So we're all raising the bar instead of just one town.